Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to this lecture. So today let's implement a common string coding interview question, which is how do you write a program to implement string autocomplete feature? Okay, so given a list of strings, okay, given a list of string array or strings list of strings as a library. So yeah, as an example, if you can consider this, okay, as a list like A, and BE. And as a user, if I input AN, okay, then the program should return AN, AND, and ANDI as the possible matches. Okay, so this is one of the common questions used across multiple interviews. So yeah, let's see how we can implement and which data structure probably we can make use of. So yeah, I mean this is a diagram that I've written just so that it's easier to understand. So the data structure which we are going to use today is called try node. Okay, so what happens is, I mean, you'll have a root node, okay, and for each of the root node, right? So you'll have a child. So basically, the try node would actually contain, I mean, similar to a tree. Okay, so what it contains is a data element, which is going to be a char or a character. Okay, so each character, right? So again, it will have a child node, and each of those child nodes again will have a data element and a pointer to the its childs. Okay, now coming to our string library, right? So what we had was like, if you go back, we had A. So A is here. Okay, and then AN. So from A I can traverse to AN, which is one of the childs, and then A and D, again A and D, and then another one is A and DY, A and DY. Similarly, if you had like A R E, right, then it again you can traverse it that way. So what happens is, for each of the word, right, what I would do is, if this is one of the word, right, A, so it's a single letter word, right? So what I would do is, I would also have a boolean to say that A in itself is part, I mean, one of the words as part of the library. And similarly, AN, again, it will have a Boolean because it's a node, right? Child node. It will have a Boolean to suggest that this AN is also a word. And then similarly A and D, and then A and DY, so on and so forth. You get the picture, right? So basically, yeah, this is how I would implement it. Now, as an user, if I input AN, right? So what I have to do is I have to traverse I mean, taking root as my starting point, I'll have to see like the first letter of the word which user inputted is A, right? So I'll eliminate all the other 25 possibilities, right? So anything starting with A, I would uh, eliminate other possibilities, and then again from A, so again you have to see what user has inputted, which is AN, right? So that eliminates the left side of the tree, right? So you can traverse and find any matches here, so on and so forth. Okay, so this is the idea. So let's see how we can implement. First thing what we need to do is we need to create that structure similar to tree or a list. So what I have to do is I have to create that structure class. I'll name it a string try node just to make it easier to understand. So what I would do is I will have a character, um, I'll probably name it as data, and then I'll have a boolean is word. Okay, and then I'll have a map. This is basically to store the child elements if there are any. Yeah, character comma, it should again hold a pointer to itself, right? Child node basically. So what I would do is child nodes, I'll call it, and then I'll have a, just a minute. Yeah. So I'll have a constructor public string try node. Okay, nothing fancy. So I'll also have a parameterized constructor. So string try node char c this dot data equals c, and then you'll have this. Yeah. So yeah, so that is one thing, and I'll also have a public method, public void insert. I'll have like a string word. What I would do is if word equals null, or if it is empty, right? So then I don't have to proceed further. Otherwise, what I would do is data equals word dot char at 0. Okay, and I will try to get, sorry, string try node child node, or child maybe, yeah, it should suffice. Child nodes dot get of data. So what should happen is if child equals null, then just create the child node, new string try node. Yeah. So then probably what you can do is child nodes dot put data comma child. Yeah. If word dot length greater than 1, probably what you can do is child dot is word equals true if it is just a one word letter, right? Otherwise, child dot insert of word dot substring starting from 1. Yeah. So this is how you would have to do, and then probably what I do is I'll just to create that string try node root. Yeah. And then I'll also have a constructor for my main public string autocomplete. Yeah. What I would have is I would have a list of words as a list of strings as a library, right? String, probably I'll call it as str library. Yeah. So what I would do is, so I would have to initialize root to new string try node, and then what I would do is I'll iterate through the list string library, play. Yeah. So sorry, I think this is a string array, right? So I'll probably, my bad. So for each of the word, right, what I would do is root dot insert of word. Yeah. So that should take care. So this is how my initial class would look like. So yeah, let's see how we can implement the um, autocomplete feature using the suggest method in the next lecture. Yeah.